Hello, welcome to Garden Chronicles. My name is James David, and in today's video, I would like to talk about this particular plant known as a Rangoon Creeper Vine, where it has finished its blooming season. This particular video is very much focused on the method of how I prune them, and especially in the factor of pruning them hardy for a full heavy bloom for the next season. So here what I want to mention is that the pruning method is very important, as if you were to do it wrongly, you can actually cause a damage that can be extensive, where you can actually kill the plant. So in a way, here is a proven method of how to prune them carefully and properly in a way that it will bloom heavily in the next season. Do take note that the pruning should take place after the blooming season has finished. In a way, you'll find that all the flowers has fallen away, and you can see that the plant is sort of like forming its seeding process. But I must mention to you that because of the tropical condition in my garden, they do not form fruits nor seed. Hence, the plant will just use up all its energy on sort of like forming a fruiting factor, but somehow it will just diminish and new shoot will begin to appear from the side of the stem. Now the importance of pruning here is that to take note that a new shoot will begin to appear, and that will continue to grow for another length where around about 1 to 2 meters. Hence it will actually cause the plant to use up all its energy to put in a new set of stem and branches. Do take note that once that have taken place, of course there will be a new set of flowers appearing from it, but the plant has spent all its energy in maintaining the existing branches together with the new shoots, and the flowers, especially the blooms, will be much more lesser and not so grand looking. Here you can see the extensive size of the particular plant, where it has become the first primary together with the secondary stem growth, which is actually have heavily overwhelmed the plant with thick growth. Now coming to the most important part, the pruning, I would like to explain more in a detailed matter concerning this. Do take note to use a sterile, clean tools for this, either a garden cutter or a scissors before pruning. You can wash it first with the dishwasher soap, or apply a hand sanitizer with the alcohol-based medium, or even put it on a fire for a few minutes before trimming. Do also take note that if you are planning to use it on a fire, let the tool to get cooled down first before trimming. Now the most important factor about pruning and trimming, do take note to keep an eye and focus on the factor of where the main trunk and branch is. Like in my context and condition, I would like to keep the main vine, the main branch, as a standing structure first, and the rest of it that actually grows from it is the secondary plant factor. It is something like a tree. Imagine it's a tree trunk, and all the branches are the parts that I would like to trim. Now this is very important, because if you were to accidentally trim the main trunk, then the plant will have to regenerate back to first growth, and will take some time, like a year's time, for it to establish itself and then put out shoots for flowering. So do take note to keep the main branch, especially the trunk, as what you would consider it, and don't trim that off. Only trim the secondary branches that shoots out from the main trunk. This will ensure you that when you do so, after the blooming season, you can constantly trim off the secondary branches, so that a new shoots will appear every time you prune from it after the blooming season. This is the final work after the pruning method, and you can see that I've already cleared up all the secondary vines that has been trimmed off from this main branch. Do take note that in case that you are actually growing them indoors in a potted plant, where the plant is not extensively big as such as this, just use the same principle as it is. However, just take note that it will be more on a smaller scale size. As you can see here, these are the prune materials from the Rangoon Creeper Vine. In most cases, this particular cuttings are very good for propagation. However, I do not have the space nor the need to have them growing too many, as I find that one main wine plant is actually good enough for me in my garden space. I have now come to the end of my video. Do check out on my playlist concerning this particular Rangoon Creeper Vine on the extensive research and experiences follow up with tips and hacks which I placed in my video selection. Also, I would really appreciate if you can click like, subscribe and support my channel by putting in your comments and share with me your thoughts and concern concerning this particular Rangoon Creeper Vine. Finally, as you can see over here, the final product of this particular pruning method, that you can see that most of these branches are just short and perfect for the blooms to handle it. And you can also notice that because of this pruning factor, this vine do not put up any thorns or spikes on their branches. Hence, this is just perfect and very well maintained for the next 3 to 4 months time before the next pruning session. Another factor that I found very interesting is that because of these pruning factors, I do not use any fertilizer on them, and also find that there is not much of pest attacks on them due to this pruning factor. However, do take note that they do need bright hot sun for them to heavily bloom, because without lighting, this kind of strong lighting effects, they may not give much of the flowers in their blooming season. Other than that, this is a very easy hardy plant to cultivate and easy to grow in the tropical garden region. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Take care and have a nice day. Bye.